Construction at Calvin on the new Spoolhof Fieldhouse complex continues at a constant clip. But as important as these buildings will be for the college, what takes place in the buildings is even more important. For daily, Calvin stories are being told and made on the college playing fields. Stories about student-athletes seeking to bring together their studies and their sports. Stories about student-athletes learning more about God's will for their lives. Stories that weave together coaches and parents and teammates, often in profound ways. Stories like that of Calvin soccer player Michael Holwerda. In his freshman season, he was 4th on the team in goals and 3rd in assists. He had high expectations for his sophomore season. And then, in August of 2006, an X-ray revealed that Holwerda had some sort of mass in his back.
There's no definite conclusion of what it was, and the doctor, Gocaslin, basically told us we had 2 options. One would be to go ahead with the surgery, as that would be the only definite way to figure out what exactly it was in my back. And the second option would be wait another 3 months, take some more pictures, get some more images, see if anything's changed, see if we can tackle a different procedure. Basically, they gave us these options laid out in front of us and told us, make the call.
Making the call was no easy matter for Holwerda's family, which had an eerie medical history.
It hasn't been, the easiest last, 26, 27 years my parents been married. My dad was in a wheelchair when he, in the early 80s. My mom had cancer in the late 80s. My brother had cancer in the early, 2000s, and then my surgery. There has been a lot of tears, tears of disappointment, tears of joy. But there always has been kind of this foundation where we have been able to find peace and comfort.
The Holwerdas decided to have Michael undergo a risky and extensive surgery at Johns Hopkins in Maryland.
So we entered into the surgery, spent a good time on Thursday night in prayer. My uncle, my dad's brother, came into town and spent a lot of time with us, and so we were able to just really kind of bind together as a family through some prayer, through some scripture on Thursday night, or Wednesday night actually, and that kind of put a sense of peace in our hearts. It wasn't that we weren't scared, we weren't nervous, but there was a sense of, it's not in our control, God is the one that has control right now.
For Cindy Holwerda, Michael's mother, his surgery brought back memories of her hospital stays battling cancer while pregnant with Michael, and reminders of lessons learned there.
I know for myself, when I was in the hospital, I was stripped of being a mother, a wife. I was a child of God. And His grace was sufficient through that. Even though it didn't always feel like it, it was. And so through all this, you find out God's hand in it all.
God's hand was in Michael's surgery, too. Afterwards, the doctor announced to the entire Holwerda family that the surgery was a success. Last fall, Michael, now a junior, stepped onto the field for the first time since his freshman year in late August in a game at Carthage College in Kenosha, Wisconsin. It was an amazing moment for the entire family.
And I just wanted to go on the field and hug him.
Yeah.
It was just an exciting moment. For him to be able to score the first goal of the season, to even be able to score, was just such a gift, just very, very thankful.
Even if he wasn't able to play this year, having him as a captain, even on the sideline, would have been huge for our team. But I'm usually a glass half full type of guy, and I was hoping, and the team was hoping, and I think God blessed this team and blessed him also.
Today, the Holwerdas continue to be thankful to each other, to Calvin, and to their God, and they found new ways to define God's grace in their lives.
I would define God's grace as His loving, saving presence in all things. So that in the really dismal, either the diseases or my reactions to the diseases and struggles, which were often quite dismal, that God is in that. And in the presence of something I hate, there's a hidden presence of a saving God who is loving us unconditionally